Hey guys, so for my campaign, I decided to go with hand washing and the importance of it. So I found out throughout this research that people really don't know how to wash their hands, and that kind of grossed me out. So I went ahead and I wanted to research it for myself and do the campaign for it to try to talk about it. So with the research, we found that there was a study done by Megan in 2016 where they found that 40% of cooks in restaurants didn't wash their hands after handling raw chicken breast. 44% didn't wash after handling ground turkey patties. And then that number even decreased by 15% when they handled eggs. And then another 17% for scrambled eggs. Which is crazy to me that people in the food industry aren't washing their hands when they handle raw meat. Personally, I've worked in the food industry for about 6 years. And I've been Serve Safe certified the entire time. So that means by state, I took a test and I got certified to be able to serve food. So I know all about the hand washing. We talk about it all the time. And it just blows my mind that people still don't know it. So in the campaign, I went through and I decided that the target population was going to be kids, just because, like school age kids, because then if you teach them these habits young, then hopefully they will carry them throughout their life, and it can be a habit that they instill within themselves as they grow up to be adults and be working in food industries as teenagers, or they at least teach it to their families and friends or their future children. The theories I found that were very helpful for me was the theory of change. And so that kind of helped me figure out how we were going to, if this was a real campaign, how we'd get people to change habits that they've been doing. Because I'm pretty sure most people have been washing their hands since they were kids. And then there's the stages of change theory. And so that, again, would kind of help with the helping with change and all that. And then there's the multi-attribute utility theory, which kind of took a different, multiple different objectives. Let me find the correct thing before I say something I don't mean. Yeah, so it just kind of took the different considerations and the patients and everything and kind of talked about how it was going to effectively make a campaign for it. That theory specifically, they called it the MAUT. It just kind of took psychology and mathematics and put it all together to help come up with different ways to prevent the diseases spread by not washing their hands. By not washing your hands, you're spreading E. coli, salmonella, influenza, norovirus, and all of these tend to have flu-like symptoms to where you'll be vomiting, diarrhea, and sick. So dehydration becomes a part of it. And so for some people, it's just like a flu. Other people need medical attention, and others actually die. For people with weakened immune systems, such as anyone that's already sick or going through a serious illness, pregnancy, the elderly and children, they tend to be the ones that suffer the most. And that's when a lot of the deaths will kind of occur. So for the health messages, I decided I was going to do a brochure and a podcast. A brochure, just because it's a basic kind of thing. We all know what it is. It kind of helps spread the awareness. You can pass them out. It's easy to take on the go. Read it later, read it then. I wanted to make it to where it wasn't too cluttered, but all the important information was on it. So it was a quick read. But you got the gist and you got the important details. So if they did seminars in schools for the kids, they could take it home to their families, or schools could look it over real quick. With the podcast, there's been a huge popularity with podcasts, and people can listen to it in the car, when they're doing work, when they're walking. So I thought it would be just a really convenient, portable way to get a message around. It could also be kind of flipped into radio. I recorded it as if I had my own station and I was kind of spreading the message of something I heard or something of that sort. I also chose those two because, one, the brochure would be good for anyone of the deaf community. They could get all of our information kind of written down there. Both pamphlets kind of shared the same kind of things, the brochure and the podcast. And then with the podcast, anyone within the blind community could get the same kind of information, and it just kind of helped, I think, broaden a more inclusive kind of audience and population, because a lot of the time I think those two communities are kind of forgotten about when we do campaigns. So I just wanted to kind of mention them. Yeah, that was my campaign.